Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, Episode 7. Hell
Alright.
yeah. We have met Wakamatsu.
We have. The freshman sports boy.
Yes, that is being tormented. Absolutely tormented.
Totally. Yes.
By
Yes.
Seo. Yeah. By
Say it
damned
ain't so.
Seo.
Yeah.
Yep, say it ain't so. But at the very least, he can seek respite in the singing of Lorelei. And he made it perfectly clear to Seo. So he drew the line in no uncertain terms. Their relationship has been defined.
Yeah, he's like, your fucking algorithm will not hold me back.
That's right.
I will get my recommendations and my suggested videos out there as much as possible. Cannot hold me back.
Yes.
Yes, it's a YouTuber's joke. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
己の無趣味さを噛み締めて
今まさ
I
に
knew
そ
it.
の状態
I
Yep.
knew it.
あ、じゃあこれから
Yeah, together.
Workaholic struggle.
これって
デート
これってもしかして
デート Oh
映
no.
いいね映画行こう行こ
画映画だったらこれが見たいな
Oh no.
すごい参考になったなさくらレストランに行こう
Yeah. And now we
次
can
の
go.
話でレストランに行くんだ
Yep.
鈴木はきっとこういうの食べるよな
う野崎くん仕事から離れようよデートではありませんでした
この服マミコに似合うだろうか
買うの
資料用にな
ねえ見て見てあのカップル彼氏がすごく乗り気で服見てるおなぜかセーラー服を手にしたの真剣だなブレザーもいいけどセーラーも似合
This is
うよな
amazing.
的な彼女
They're giving him way too much credit.
これ着て今度写真撮らせてくれないか
イネクラ
もっと華奢な美少年に生まれ
Oh,
筋肉が憎い
I love these muscles.
ちょっと見てみようよあれ
Ah!
みこしば
Yeah.
セーラー服着てみないか
なんだよなんでしに来たんだよお前こういうの興味ねえだろ
何を言ってるんだ俺だって持ってるぞお色気フィギュア
マジでお色気って水着とかか
いや布地などない
あいつにフィギュアの良さがわかるもんか
まあまあほら野崎くんにも趣味とかあるだろうし趣味
His interests.
Dun dun dun.
平常心よ千代どんな女の子連れてきたってがっかりしちゃダメよ
No!
鈴木の資料用に
がっかりだよ
じゃあ次はみこしばのフィギュアを一緒に選ぶか
いらねえよ帰れもう組んだ
Calm down, Mikoshima. Your Bakugo is showing.
Yep. Just a little bit.
野崎くん画材屋さん見てもいいちょっと部活用のがなくなっちゃって
俺も見たい行こう本屋で言うとここは純文学コーナーだよないるだけでかっこいい
何の話
さくらは水彩が中心だったか
今度は油絵も始めるよ野崎くんも時間ある時とかやってみる気分転換になるよ
よし画集発売決定まで想像した
全然趣味じゃなくなってるよ
Oh, he can't help himself.
He's so in the work mindset he can't get out of it.
No.
そっか今日は野崎くんの家には行かないんだ最
野崎
近毎日行ってたからお仕事休みだと寂しいな
Yeah.
そのさくらはこの後用事とかあるか
Is there hope? No. No shot.
もし時間があったら
Oh no.
家に来てくれないだろうか
Okay, well,
野
that's.
崎くんもしかして
Don't trust this.
私と同じ
Oh! He's feeding her! He's like, thank you for.
おかず作りすぎちゃ
Yeah!
って
Oh!
買ってたもん
But he's also thanking you
Yep.
for spending
Like,
the day with
was
him.
the food for a reference? Probably, but
Could have been, yeah.
野崎くんが私に選んでくれたの嬉しいありがとう絶対使うよ何かな文房具かな
Yep. I knew it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
今すぐ使ってくれてもいいんだ
I love this show.
うっかり目とかつむって変な顔しちゃった場合その写真を見られることになるんだよ耐えられない
はあそんなこと気にしてんのかよこれだから自分に自信のないやつ
Ah.
そりゃみこりんはね
みこしは次はこのポーズで頼む
野崎
Uh-huh.
今俺かっこいいか
うん
目つむってないか
うん大丈夫大丈夫かっこいい
みこりんねえ美術部の先輩がみこりんにモデルをや
Oh,
って
here
ほ
we
しい
go.
ってどう
はあ絶対嫌だよ
断られましたそっか友達のさくらが頼めばいけるかと思ったんだけどダメかあみこしばくん美術部のモデルをお願いしたいんだけどダメかな
モデルおいおい俺の魅力を絵に閉じ込めるつもりかさくら
嫌だよ
No, you're dead to me.
Uh-huh.
断ってもら
No.
嫌だよ
Yep.
Played him
ポ
like
ー
a
ズつけ
fiddle.
るったってファッション誌見てんじゃないだろうしなあ S 字曲線 S 字が美しいのか
No, not like that. No. Think like a musical note, buddy. Like
Think
not-
like the shape of your spine.
かっこいいポーズといえばフィギュアとかってまさに
Oh my god, yeah.
まさ
Yeah.
かこんなところでオタク趣味が役に
We're going through everything right now. Holy shit, that was amazing. Yes. Go on. Oh my god.
じゃあまず目線は右斜め上50度で口元を軽く笑って笑いすぎその後少しだけ開いて色気出してまるで可愛い子犬に向けるような視線であと前髪もう2ミリ洗って
細け
あポーズは何でもいいです好きにして
表情だけ5度目の浮気がバレ今度こそ別れると本気を告げられ途端に慌てふためき必死に捨てないでくれとすがりつく男のポーズ
Pose. Yeah.
暑いなさくら風
はい
あさくら西日が眩しい
はいでももともとは私が原因で頼まれちゃったモデルだしね飲み物でも差し入れしようお
バカ野郎一人にすんだよ心細いだろ
めんどくせえ
しかし休憩があるとはいえ疲れてきたなもう帰りてえでも言い出すのかっこ悪い
あれみこしは
Oh.
野崎いいところに頼むうまいこと俺を連れ出し
He sits down and starts. He's like, I want you to pose this way.
待ってる間美術部の写真撮ってもいいですか
どうぞ
野崎てめえ
さくら
野崎くんみこりんがモデルやってくれてるんだよ
漫画の参考には入部届をでもこのポーズかっこよくないぞ
And it's on a full page.
Yep. Uh huh.
始めま
It's
す
our favorite one. Yep.
Yep. And
野
No.
崎くんもこっそりデッサンしてる
Doesn't even need it.
he's that
そういえ
stoked.
ば野崎くんのデッサンって見たことないな
Rough
見せて
sketches.
テーマ10股した男の末路
なんでレンジ加えてんの見たまま描こうよ
ちなみに設定はこ
せめて絵描こうよ 休憩で
I love it.
す。そうだ、野崎くんもポーズつけてみる？
いいのか？
もう全員回ったし。
それじゃあ。よし。
じゃあ開始しま
さくら。さくらここで。
え？
で、あなたはここで。
Oh my god, yes.
あなたはここ。あなたはここ。こっちにあなた。あなたは座って。
そして美術部は乗っ取られました。
Uh-huh.
よし。
小芝くん、今日はありがとう。ほんと助かったわ。あのポーズすごい良かったよ。
Yeah, you did a lot, dude. Way to go.
Oh, this
ニコリンって
appreciation.
結構人見知り？
しばらく一緒にいると慣れるんだけどな。
ごめんね。
あれは少し適応してきている途中だ。ただ、中途半端に気を許すと。
ニコシバくん、またモデル
Here
頼んで
we
いい？
go.
今日散々見つめてもまだ足りねえって言いたいのか？いいぜ。今度呼ばれた時にはお前だけのヌードモデルになってやるよ。
Oh no! Wait! The exact opposite reaction!
Perfect.
中途半端に気を許すといつも以上に軽口を叩いてしまうんだ。
分かってたなら止めてあげようよ。
Hell no.
And the art
I'll
club is
be there
actually
drawing.
he's gonna hold him to it.
Yeah, yeah.
まあそう落ち込むな、みこしば。
野
Like a
崎
Greek god.
ヌードモデルをするときはぜひ俺
Yep,
も呼んでく
yep.
れ。
I knew it. That was like
See it coming from a
guaranteed.
mile away.
Yeah, I'm like, no. He's like, I want in on that shit. Like, you better tell your best bro. Like, I mean, like,
We're friends, right?
we're friends. Yeah. Ah, cool.
Wasn't that a fun episode?
Yeah, that one was really good. I
Yeah.
feel like the day off was just chock full of stuff.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and the idea that it all came back around all the way to the sailor uniform again.
Yep.
That was
Because of course it did.
perfectly like set up. I absolutely saw it coming, and it still felt wonderful. I feel like this show has hit that sweet spot for me of I am just here for the shenanigans, and I don't even need to be really surprised by them.
Right, like-
It's just the delivery and the setting, the way these are delivered to me. It just
Oh yeah, the fact that Sakura is like, wait, us going out on his day off, is this the dato?
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, okay, hold on,
We
girl.
know exactly
Your-
how this is going,
Your
yep.
spirit should have been broken long before now. Why are you still hoping? Right?
Why is
You know?
there any hope at all?
Yeah.
Like we could practically have like her and him like sitting down for dinner on Valentine's Day and like with like roses and
no, I
like,
can-
all this
I
stuff.
can-
And he's like, I'm going to draw the shit out of
Yeah,
this.
yeah, no, exactly, right.
yeah,
You can see inside
it.
his head and see the little cube neurons synapsing sort of very separately from each other and being like, yes, this is how his mind works. And yeah, I could legit see that exact scenario happening. Yep.
Yeah.
And yet, just because the show knows that we know the joke, that doesn't mean it's going to shy away from all the build-up. Because who knows? Maybe this time it'll be different.
and then you go and look up to see like how much material is it? Oh, it's still ongoing.
I think it is, yeah.
No, it is.
Yeah.
I know it is. It's still ongoing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Meaning, no, this is still going.
They're still in high school. There's
No progress.
watch.
has
No,
been
it
made.
actually goes into like post high school, and they're married and they have kids and everything. But then it's just the antics of trying to communicate and have a successful marriage, but they're constantly like just missing what each other.
No, not at all, dude. No way. Okay, so Mikurin though, shining star this episode. The MVP.
Glorious.
The gloriousness of figures that he's trying to describe, which then that carries over from these skits into the next one where
Yep.
he's asked to
Posing.
be a model,
Yep.
posing, and thus he then uses all of his figures as reference points for poses,
And
which was hilarious because you saw him think of all the male action heroes,
and
and
it's
you
like-
saw the JoJo character, you saw like
Right.
the Dragon Quest character.
And it's like, that's clearly not going to work, right?
Nope.
So then it's, okay, girl poses. To be fair, those actually work a bit better as poses.
I think they do as well.
You know?
Yeah, they're a bit more dynamic.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's not such an obvious just reference to something. Someone could
Right.
theoretically be in that position, and it could be helpful to, like the whole thing of like him like grabbing the collar.
What,
you
you're
know?
telling me that someone isn't gonna like contort their arm and hand like this while putting their other hand in
I
front
mean,
of their
it's
face?
possible. Like
And
that
then
would have
having
been
their knees bent in this like
yeah,
specific
that,
way.
That would have been hilarious if someone tried to get him into like
A JoJo pose.
Yeah, a JoJo pose, and it's like, no,
Yeah.
bend down farther, bend the knees.
I think this is the kind of the kind of story where they're like, we got our JoJo reference in there. Let's move on. We're not trying to like harp on a joke.
Yeah,
here.
exactly, right.
Yeah.
Manga in general. Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it was really fun to see Nozaki kind of in his element, but also by the whole notion that we would assume he would be out of his element going out here because this was his, he doesn't know what to do on his day off. He
Right.
really doesn't know what to do.
And now,
That means then that Sakura, you helped him a lot because this would have been a day that he would have wasted away doing
Oh, yeah.
nothing
yep,
other than maybe some prep work for more work,
right.
You actually gave him that little bit of spark of passion, and now he's joined another club.
Yeah.
What have you done?
Right.
You're changing him. This is incredible.
You took that hamster that's just been on the wheel for so long that it's still just trying to do that when it's not on the
You
wheel.
lift it up when he's still pattering,
Right, it's
and
still-
you let him down very slowly, and he
then-
kind of fumbled and flopped all around everywhere.
Right. But then he sees all these sights, new smells, a whole new world that you have shown him.
Do you remember Rescuers Down Under, where the little like wombat things are like running on the ground, and then they're just flopping all over themselves and stuff like that? That's Nozaki trying to be a normal human
Basically.
being. He's just like, oh, I can go very fast, yes, and then just bounce.
Oh, man.
Oh my
But yeah.
god.
So and also I love the idea like because there's the
so
jokes
good.
that they have about the art and everything, right? With
Yep.
the art club and the references and the poses and everything.
All of it.
But then there's the whole thing of, oh no, being a mangaka is hard ass work, right?
Indeed,
Oh
indeed.
yeah, time off. What's that? Oh yeah,
What
you,
is that?
You
Nah.
you try to catch up on your basic necessities, and maybe don't even have time for that. Like that's what Nozaki does when he finishes early.
Right.
Is he catches up on basic necessities. What happens when the schedule's going regularly,
Yeah. I loved the joke that I still don't think I fully get.
Oh,
was
yeah?
The idea that there were these few people that come
Yeah.
over to the, what is it, the By Shoujo How to Draw section. How to Draw by Shoujo.
Right, and that was
then-
like the books.
Yeah, the books. And the guy just goes, and like disappears into his basket.
Right.
And then the girl comes over here and like literally dematerializes like out of frame to like teleport and grab like a bunch of materials. And then she
Right.
just continues on like nothing happened. And then Nozaki does the exact same thing
Uh-huh.
and then goes back to this series. You can be a manga artist too.
Hmm.
So I think what it was is these are all mangaka.
Right. That
They
don't
don't want other people to know that they're mangaka.
Right.
So they're used to the idea of, oh, these are materials that you would typically expect a mangaka to use, and they're like, yes, okay.
Yep.
And grab it. And I think that's the joke.
Yeah, I think
that's the joke. But it was really funny just to have no build-up for it.
Right, because at first I thought the thing of the grabbing the Bishoujo book is I don't want people to know that this is what I'm trying to draw, right? But then
Which
it's
is
just
kind of it, but it's
which-
not
yeah,
exactly
right.
it.
But then it's also just the grabbing supplies, right?
Right.
Which, like, it felt to me very similar to what I would expect in a bookstore when you have the people that are like, okay, they're here for like the good shit, right?
Right.
But they don't want anyone to know. So it's like, okay, they go in and then they're just sort of like, oh, what's over here?
Yeah.
Take
Grab a
2 or
whole
3.
bunch of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like they knew what they were there for, you know?
Exactly,
And then they
yeah.
just sort of mosey on to another part of the bookstore, look around for a bit, see what's there, maybe get one thing to put on top of the stack, you know? And then they're
Sure.
just like, yeah, here you go.
That's more like, you know, you go to an antique store and you've done your research and you look around and you're just seeing numbers in your head. You're like value, 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 eBay, resale. And then you're like, found something. Oh, okay. I'm going to go and look at some other stuff. And as I walk by, you put it in there and then like, oh, you grab a bunch of little innocuous things and be like, yes. So then they don't think immediately like, this person can sense a good, you know, buy or what have you.
I am very curious
yeah.
what the general, like, cultural outlook on mangaka is in Japan, you know? Because
I think it's not necessarily looked at as positively still. I
right.
mean,
Because I know that a lot of mangaka will, like, they won't let their actual identity be shown. They'll have a pen
they'll
name
hide it from their
anytime they're in
family,
public.
even.
You know, they'll have a mask on. Yeah, they'll hide it from their family.
Yep.
Which I understand to a degree if you're doing something like of the more cultured variety.
But I don't think that has anything to do with it.
But
I
just
think
for
it's-
anything,
I think it's
yeah.
the idea that it's typically the job that is pure passion. You have to be
Right.
in love with this in order to do it. Therefore, the money side of things there is very low if you're not actually super successful.
Sure.
So it's the thing of where you don't want to, you know, have people be disappointed in you because you're picking a really, you know,
Yeah.
competitive, not very rewarding financially
and
job.
and like I get that a bit with like writing books or whatever, because anytime that you try and, like, you know, if someone hears like, oh, you're a writer, one of the things they'll often ask is like, can I see your stuff? And it's like, no, that's no,
literally
definitely
not how this works.
yeah, exactly. So, you know,
Artists get this as well,
Oh.
but the thing with artists that's, like, I'd say a very similar thing is that everyone knows someone that likes to draw.
right.
But the difference between someone that likes to draw and an artist is usually about 5,000 hours.
Yeah.
And most people that look at artists' work do not respect the 5,000 plus hours difference between them and somebody that likes to draw.
Well, or just even if the person, like, you know, doesn't necessarily like to draw or whatever,
Yeah.
but just when you're, say, commissioning artists for stuff and things like that. And, you know, and this might be getting a little bit off topic.
This is a little off topic, but
I feel like the episode was kind of touching on it, because even with Nozaki, right?
Yeah.
One of the biggest
Misconceptions?
or unfortunate things that is propagated as an idea is that if you have a passion for something that is, like, artistic or whatever, that if you're going to pursue it, you need to be pursuing it in a business manner rather than just as a hobby, right?
Yes, that
which
is
you
true.
tody don't need to do, right?
That is
doing it
that's a
just for
thing
the
that-
sake of self-expression and getting it out of your system and stuff, and
Yep.
and having it
That's
for
important.
yourself. That's important. That's absolutely enough.
Yeah.
But I totally recognized the aspect of Nozaki where he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do something as a hobby. I don't have hobbies. Okay, so I'll do this thing as a hobby. Oh,
It's
and
also
then
work research.
that's also work research,
Yeah.
right? And I have absolutely caught myself doing stuff like that where it's like, oh yeah, what happened to actually having fun? Well, I kind of forgot how to do that, you know?
Right. The correlation to being a YouTuber works really well, and we are not even the kinds of YouTubers I would say that typically think this way the most. The ones that I would say are the most stuck in this kind of thing there are vloggers, basically.
Sure.
Where their literal life is their content. And
Daily uploads that they have to somehow make interesting.
Exactly. So they do experiences and activities that then can be turned into content, stories, or what have you. But this works on the slighter side of things as well. Podcasters do this as well.
Sure.
Where they'll basically be like, oh, I'm going to go do 3 weird, unique, interesting things this week so that I have story material for the podcast. Comedians do this, where they're like, oh, I am sorry, you know, talking to, like, the family, and they're like, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to use your embarrassing thing and embellish it a little bit, and I'm going to use it as a story in my comedy bit,
Or
you know, on Saturday.
Or, like, if they say you have that really bad Tinder date or something, maybe you stick around a bit longer just to be like, all right, how bad is this gonna go? You know, like I could leave now, but this could be a good story, right?
Right.
You know,
I just do that because of my personality. But like, I have those moments though where the desire to not waste time because, like, you know, work makes, you know, life busy. But not only that, work energy is valuable. The idea of a lot of people will take something that they're like, okay, how much does this feed back into my energy for work so that I can actually go about, you know, my work life in a stable manner. And for Nozaki, I think his more thing is that he's like, well, I need it to be somewhat valuable because a day off, you know, I don't want to get behind or anything. Yeah, it costs me a lot in terms of energy to then spend that not doing anything. Well, so
and one of the other things is that in Nozaki's situation, even though this wasn't necessarily as much touched upon, but something that I've definitely felt is that when your work is something that requires you to be creative or in a particular like emotional state or something like that, right? Like that is a whole other drain too, where then you want to make sure you're feeding it even more because you can't just like show up to work and it's like, all right, time for the slog, you know, right? Like you have to be able to make something that other people find romantic and enjoyable in Nozaki's case, right? And given how much trouble he has with romance, you know, already, right?
That's he's not even trying romance, so why should he be having trouble?
No,
with
that's
it?
true. He's completely oblivious to his struggles.
There's no romance in his life at all.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Like he's almost Ace in some ways. Like he's actually,
and we'll never know without getting into that head.
Yeah, we'll never know because he's a brick. So it's just, that's where we're at.
Yep.
It is adorably funny though to see him
trying on the sailor uniform.
Well, subject himself and his friends to his antics as he tries to, you know, stay ahead of things.
Yeah.
Because I think if they wanted to go like a little bit into his characterization, a lot of his like obsession with this is probably from the standpoint that he's mentioned before multiple times that he gets kind of not made fun of, but he gets kind of looked down on because he's so young.
Oh,
and he probably has a little bit of this like, no, I'm going to prove myself.
Yeah, I'm going to make a good manga.
I'm going to make good stuff, and no one can laugh at me or make you know any kind of notice because I'm young. And the fact that also at his own school, he tried to tell everybody that he drew shoujo manga, and they all didn't believe him. They kind of laughed at him.
Yep.
So it might be a big deal for him to be like, no, I'm putting everything into this so that I get that recognition, not personally, but my work gets it.
Right.
You know.
And to take that and potentially put a filter on it for your perspective, Sakura, which who knows if this is actually the case. You'd have to ask Nozaki.
I know where you're going with this. Yep.
Maybe that means that you actually helping him with this stuff, him actually trusting you to be like, hey, I need help with this. Can you help me? Will you help me out with this specific thing?
Right.
Maybe that's actually the best way that he knows how in order to say, I trust you and I think the world of you.
Yep.
Could be. But he's
Who's
also a
to
brick,
say?
so he's never going to tell you that that's what it means. And, you know, because you're so flustered and, like, you know, in love with him and stuff, you're not necessarily going to be thinking that that's what it means because what you're imagining is and what you're hoping is definitely not what you're getting. But Miscommunication humor, the anime.
Yeah. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below. For our Patreon, you can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.